Hi everyone, welcome to How to Blog for Miss Fusaro's class. This video is with regards to the instructions for the 2022 to 2023 school year. So everything that I'm about to tell you in this video, you can find accessible to you on the blog website itself or in the classroom syllabus about blogging. It's just here for you as a video in case you prefer that method of learning. So welcome to class blogging. How it works. We're going to start with the technical requirements. As you can see here, first of all, the blog lives on a Google site. It's missfusarostudent.blogspot.com, which means our blog wizards, which I'm going to ask to have between 2 to 4 blog wizards per class period. Our blog wizards are going to be the ones who manage the blog, and they're the ones you're going to send your written blogs to every single day. They're going to be the only ones that have the back end access to the blog because this lives outside of our school domain. So, how it works: one student per class per day will be responsible for blogging. So, those blogs are expected to be posted by 7 a.m. on their respective due date. So, for example, let's say John Doe is in period 7. If his blog date is November 8th, he must have the completed blog published by 7 a.m. on November 8th. That means that John is going to need to get the blog to the blog wizard in enough time for the blog wizard to post the blog on November 8th, 7 a.m. So he can't first send the blog to the blog wizard at 7 a.m. on November 8th and expect them to to post it. It's not possible. So you have to make sure that you are actually, to be on time for your blog, you need to be early. So other technical requirements. The post should have the student's full name, your class period, the date that it's due. Um, don't worry about cycle letter. So John Doe, period 7, the date that it's due. Please use the due date, not the date that it's published, not the date that you wrote it, the date that it's due, because when I'm going through the spreadsheet, it's how I keep organized. You're going to use labels, as you can see on the right-hand side. When you're typing in the blog, there's a label on the right. You're going to type in Modern Mythology 2023. Use that label. This way, when we go back in the future, we can sort through and see the evolution of the blog and use that label, and it helps us to discern when that blog was written. You're responsible for keeping track of when it's your time to blog on the blogger sheet. And students, you can comment, respond to one another, including asking questions for clarification. Blogs are going to be published, as you can see, on the World Wide Web. So we practice our digital citizenship and remember that our audience is global. You are publishing this for the whole world to see. So we're going to keep our tone formal and remembering that anyone in the world can pull up our blog at any point and that it lives there forever. And that's going to be part of our portfolio and part of what people can see about us. So what should our blog include? You're going to pick one of the categories and respond to all the questions related to that category. Blog categories cannot be repeated except for the literature circle. And please note that these choices are all linked to our power standards, which you can click through and see to our power standards. If you have a different idea than what's listed below, you have to be sure it applies to the learning targets in our power standards, and you need to clear that with me. But here are the options. There's literacy and learning. You could write about your thoughts regarding any of the fiction or nonfiction covered in class. We're going to reflect on any new information you've learned in English class by considering how that learning influences your critical perception. How is what you're learning applied to any other classes in the world around you? There's Literature Circle, that's 2 blogs. You're going to choose one of the 2 texts to read. One of the texts to read, you're going to partner up with other students who are also reading the books. These can be across classes, and I'll get into this one in a little bit further. You're going to write 2 blogs with this one during your reading and one after you've completed the novel. You can speak to me about your topic ideas. Atomic Habits and Growth. At this current point in time, what specific standards have you set for yourself? How and why did you come to craft these standards? How do you demonstrate resilience towards achieving these standards? How do you assess yourself? What adjustments do you make? How often? Socio-political consciousness. What are your thoughts and feelings about issues of inequity, oppression, and power? How do you reflect critically on your own beliefs, assumptions, and values, experiences, and how can they influence your perception of self and others? Creativity and fiction. You could craft a piece of fan fiction related to any of the reading you've done in class that addresses one or more of the following. Some literary elements to craft a narrative or structural features of a drama to craft a script, or and should multidimensional characters develop themes and create socio-political metaphors. This is not the place for poetry. No poetry here. When do I blog? You're going to refer to the Google blog date list. Okay, you're going to have a Google Sheets blog date list. This will be on your syllabus. It's not up here right now because we don't have the list of students for the class quite yet. Here are some samples that you could click through of excellent blogs. They had different requirements. I make alterations year to year for the requirements. So please bear that in mind that their requirements were different than yours. And you can, if you want to see what their requirements were, you can go back and look through the labels and read their requirements. So they were different. But nonetheless, the writing and the content of these was still excellent. So you will also get a blog grade and it'll be graded on mastery scale. So either mastery, approaching, developing, not yet, or M. M is just missing. There's no blog for your assignment day. So you can go through and read what the different aspects mean. Mastery, you did great work. You covered different aspects of the blog. You hit all the different questions. You really put some thought into it. Great reflection, so on and so forth. You will receive a grade within 7 days of publication based upon the rubric above and just overall holistic composition of the blog. But the key thing here is blogs may be revised, edited, and updated if the student would like to revise your grade, if you'd like to fix it, or especially if you'd like to fix it for your portfolio. However, if you do opt for a revision, you must email me with a direct link to the published blog to inform me and notify me to check the blog again. I don't go back and double check blogs until I've been notified by the student. So the literature circle, we're going to talk about so this year for blogging, you have an option of a literature circle. If you choose the literature circle choice, you have 2 blogs to write for this particular choice. It's the only one where you can use the same category for 2 blogs. There are 4 books for you to choose from. Circe by Madeline Miller, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichek, or A Thousand Ships by Natalie Haynes. So whatever book you choose, you could use this Jamboard and put a post-it with your name and your class period. The objective here is to find other people who are also reading the book and partner you up. And it's okay if you are in different class periods, that there's no problem with that. And I'm going to even speak to other senior teachers to see if they might want to join in on this. The 2 different blogs. One blog is when you're going to be somewhere around the middle of the book, and we need to speak individually about what you're going to write. And then the second blog is going to be at the conclusion when you've finished reading the book. And again, I want to speak individually with you about what you plan on writing. I'm not giving you set categories about what you want to write because I want a lot of the conversation in your literature circle to be organic. And I also don't know how many people are going to choose each of the books. So I think it's really best that we leave it up to the individual for what you plan on writing about in the process of you reading these books. So if this is the choice that you make literature circle, we definitely just need to conference about it, have conversation. And I hope you enjoy the book as much as I absolutely loved reading these books too and making this part of your portfolio and blogging process.